Hello, Wellness Wednesday group. How are you? I really don't like the blur. So we'll just take it off. Okay. We are unfiltered today. Unfiltered. That is our goal for today. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm gonna pull up the Facebook group. As you pop on, let me know that you're here. You are more than welcome to come on Zoom with me as well. If you want to have a conversation on here, absolutely, incredibly excited about that when you do that too. So don't be scared to come on Zoom. If you don't know where that link is, it is in the featured section of the group up at the top. So I'm excited to be here with you. It is Wednesday. I am excited to be back in at home and back in the routine and having my own space, right? Obviously, I'm not in my space. You don't see me in my office. We're still doing the thing, right? I love being online because you can do it wherever. Miss Amanda is not with us today. She's with us in spirit. We're going to hold her high, hug her, give her some love. She needs it today, and we'll see her next week. Okay. We'll miss her definitely for this conversation. We have been working on growing an emotional toolbox for a long time, but this came up in conversation regarding this book that we're reading in Woogle in the book club, and it is a really hot topic to think about and to come into during this season as well. So if you resonate with that and wanting to, if you think about it, if you have a toolbox, if you have a routine, when you wake up in the morning, what is your routine, right? That we've talked about, and we're growing that toolbox or that awareness, like we talked about last week, right? Last week we talked about self-awareness, how to tap into yourself to stay well and to give yourself the love that you need. This one is a little bit the similar and yet so incredibly unique as well. So today we're going to work on getting your emotional health score. My score moves up and down, I think, throughout the year. This is my favorite time of year. This is kind of the time of year that I feel the most, I work harder. And so right before winter, and then winter is kind of chaos, right? I was talking to another lady, and we're working on together on something. I'm gonna do a speaking role in her event, and it really resonated with me. The season deal, we've talked about the moon, right, and the universe, and how the moon phase and retrograde really affects our emotions, and it affects on how the clarity that we have every day, right? And that is huge. And your emotional score can fluctuate, and it's going to fluctuate because we're all in different phases, and shit happens every day, right? And it's really how we can up level, or how we can reframe that score gets higher, right? It doesn't mean perfection. The score doesn't mean perfection. So if you can score yourself 1 through 10, right? If you can score yourself 1 through 10 and in your emotional health. I love the fact that this morning I talked about wealth, and wealth is health. The old definition of wealth was you have your health. And you guys know that I feel absolutely that our emotional health is just as important as our physical health. Zena, I see that you're here watching the live. Thank you so much for being here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise, and then we're going to have a conversation about our emotional health, or our health score. All right. So this is, I got this out of this book. I'm glad that wasn't open yet, or out of these cards. Can you see them? It's called Practice You, a Daily Awakening Deck. And I tested to see what the group needed today, an exercise to reset and just kind of give ourselves some self-love today. So this card says, this is the confluence. Somebody put the definition of confluence in the comments. I would love that definition. And so this is the confluence of self-care and service. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale. We're going to open our arms wide. I might have to move. And on the exhale, we're going to give ourselves a hug. And then you can repeat until you feel more connected to yourself. Okay? Because like we talked about last week, and we've talked about, right? We come back to this, is everything starts with loving ourselves. Everything starts with self. Your emotional wellness should start with yourself. I know that I too look to others a lot of time to test the waters on how I am doing, or if I'm doing a good job, or if the product that I'm putting out is good enough. I second guess myself a lot. And I think it's natural, but we get to be confident in ourselves and love ourselves and know that what we do is enough, because at the end of the day, we matter and you're enough. Okay. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to try this. There's a wall here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep inhale. Might have to move all my stuff. I have a little carpet picnic around me. So we're going to inhale really deep. And when we inhale, we're going to fill our belly up with air, right? We're going to act like Amanda's here, and we're going to relax our forehead and drop our shoulders. And we're going to take a deep inhale. And we're going to put our arms as wide as we can. Maybe you can't open your arms all the way, but this as wide as you can. And on their exhale, I'm going to inhale again, and then exhale. And you're going to give yourself a hug. I'm going to breathe into that because this feels really good. First of all, I got a massage today, and this feels really good to stretch my shoulders out. How about you guys? Are you doing it? Okay, we're going to inhale again. Take a deep breath in your belly breath. And then exhale. Get into yourself, right? It starts with self. That was really good. So you would do that as often as you need. That was a really good centering. Just like we did last week in the centering, we tapped and we got into ourself, right? So your emotional wealth. I would love to know your score. My score as of late, I think on the chart, I think I wrote a 6 because it seemed like a safe number, right? I really truly feel like we continue to grow and we continue to practice our emotional wealth. And this is my jam. Like up-leveling my emotions are my jam. I work on it every single day, as should you guys, right? I'm sure you guys have a routine. So what I've done so far today in my emotional wealth is I sat on the side of the bed and I envisioned what I was going to create and accomplish today. Creation is like how I'm going to connect with people. What am I going to show up like? And action is, or accomplishing is all the tasks in the busy work, right? So I've added the how am I going to show up part of my day, as well as an action step towards business or towards growth. And so that makes me show up with love and with openness right away in the morning. And I really, really love that. So that is new to me. I've added an additional piece to that story. And then I drink a glass of water. Who, raise your hand or put in the comments if you have a glass of water on your headboard overnight. And if you do, I would invite you to put some sort of affirmation, some sort of of mantra underneath that water, because it's going to absorb that good energy, that positive energy. And then I would invite you to drink it in the morning. So I love using that water to take my vitamins, because I love using just lukewarm or just room temperature water to take my vitamins. When I take them in the morning, it's not so hard to swallow them. Does anybody else resonate? But easier, right? Warm water. A lot of times people or my friends that are around me, we talked about it in convention, they drink warm, like they're going to have hot tea, except it's just warm water, and they put lemon in it, doTERRA lemon in it, just to get the whole body and your juju moving and the energy, right? The vibration moving in your body. So there's amazing things you can start your day with. And when you start your day with an intention like that, it changes your perception and it changes that filter, right? It changes that filter into having more of a positive outlook. And then that number on your emotional scale will change. As a whole, though, if that number on the emotional health scale, as you're writing them down each week, if that emotional health scale is lower, I would invite you to be curious on how you can up level that, or reach out to one of us, or reach out to the group, post it in the group. You know what, ladies, like this was kind of a low number and I'm not okay with that. How can you support me on raising it up? This is what I do right now, but I still feel like I'm in a slump. I still feel like I'm on a downward slump, or I can't get up the mountain, or I'm pushing a rock up the mountain. It's just harder than it should be. Reach out and put that in there. It's okay to express it, right? It's okay to do that, because that's how we can know that you need support, and that's how we can help you create a breakthrough. I love connecting in the group, and I love supporting. Oh, we're gonna turn it down. I thought I did that already. I see there's comments, so let me get to them. Hey, Zena. Hey, Jackie. Oh my gosh. Confluence, an act of or process of merging, a coming or flowing together, meeting or gathering in one place. All right. So an active process of merging. This is the confluence of self-care and service. That makes sense. Thank you, Miss Zena. Hey, Stephanie. So the act of merging the two together. So self-care and service, which is massive, right? So it's like I just was at an airplane, right? I flew to Salt Lake City for doTERRA convention, which, friends, was amazing. We learned so many things, and there's so many things to teach you and to show you and to tell you about. And I got to see so many new humans. Oh my gosh. Yes, Stephanie. Yes, Stephanie. Oh my gosh. Stephanie got me the best seat in the house. Amazing. Okay. So we will have a class about this, just about doTERRA's new products and the MetaPower, because ladies and friends and gentlemen, it's going to be a game changer for our health span. I am already using it. Testimony is being every single day. I love it. I love it. Okay. So yes, right. 7 years, the best seat in the house. I could have reached out and touched Jenna Kuchar. Almost. I mean, seriously. I saw the sweat on her cheek. That's how close we were. Okay. All right. So the connection with being into self-care and service. So I was in an airplane, and what do they say at the very beginning? I mean, if you don't fall asleep before the lady talks, right? The lady at the front, the stewardess, or what are they called in an airplane? I think it's stewardess. Yes. Is like, if there should arise chaos and this plane should be going down, that oxygen mask will drop in front of you. Put the oxygen mask up first before trying to help anybody else. Why is that? We always go instantaneously to service. We always want to put the oxygen mask on somebody else. It really starts right here. We get to put the oxygen mask on ourselves. Otherwise, no one survives. No one will survive. Right? And so that's why we did the exercise, and you got connected to yourself and you hugged yourself. We just talked about in another group today in my power team call that that a lot of us are living, myself included, with a filter. we're not living to our full potential because we're scared of the outcome, or we're trying to control the outcome. And maybe that outcome is painful, or maybe that outcome is uncomfortable, right? And that uncomfortable point that we think of, we don't know that's actually going to happen, but we worry about it anyway, right? And so we talked about, how can we show up authentically? How can we show up and speak the truth that we need to, or our story? Or like last night I went on Instagram Live for the first time. You guys, I thought I was going to die. I was sweating so bad. It was a whole thing. I don't even know. So like, what was the reason behind that? Why was I so scared to talk about my story on Instagram? So interesting, isn't it? So I was encouraged, and I encouraged my team today to do mirror work, to look at yourself in the mirror. First of all, telling yourself all of the amazing things that you've done in the last month. Like, talk to yourself like you would your bestie. Be like, you accomplished this, this, and this. You are beautiful. You did this. You are amazing. You are so good at technology. You are blah, 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 right? Those earrings are super cute. Oh my gosh, sister, like your highlight is on point today. Whatever it is, you are brilliant. You have an amazing job. You have an amazing talent, right? Anything that you want to. And then at the end of it, like before you're done with the mirror work, ask yourself what you need. At any point in time, you can always get to center, and you can always get in yourself. And a lot of people are like, I don't meditate well. Okay, go in the bathroom, close the door, being quiet. And I invite you to do mirror work and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, what do you need, sweetheart? I got that from a very, very smart woman named Tiffany. And she's an amazing human. And she does that. And she teaches that. What do you need, sweetheart? You need to talk kind to yourself, and you can listen, and you will hear what you need. You will tell yourself what you need. And it's okay to give ourselves grace. Another thing that we're going through right now, retrograde moon universe, absolutely. But you guys, it's fall. It started to be fall. Today, you're seeing me in jeans and a long sleeve for the first time in like a year, right? And so I am just sitting here in this space of sometimes feeling a little chaotic, sometimes feeling a little scattered, like my brain is not focused. I've been doing much better this week. I'm pretty sure it's the meta power, but anyway, I'm very thankful for that. But I'm sitting here, and you get to release things in the fall. That's why we talk about fall cleaning. That's why we talk about cleaning out a closet. That's why I gave away all of those things that were holding me back. They were weighing me down. Every time I looked in my garage, I was annoyed, and I felt like my house and my garage were closing in on me, right? I didn't have any other space or open space. And so we tend to cleanse in the fall. We tend to release those things that don't serve us. It is a really, really good time to do a burn your boats situation. I know that's uncomfortable. Do you guys know what burn your boats is? I think some of you do. Stephanie, do you know what burn your boats is? It's kind of like drawing a line in the sand. And I love this exercise, and I tend to do it a couple times a year, and it profoundly changes my emotional score. We hold on to things because we feel like we're going to hurt somebody's feelings, or we hold on to things because we're deflecting, or we don't think that what we have to say is important, right? Or we take on what other people think and we utilize it as our own, right? I have done that in my past. I have believed other people's things about me that were just simply untrue. Right? Yes, exactly, Zita. Bye, Felicia. I love that. Right? And so there's these things that we take on, and they imprint us, and they cause us dams in our body, right? And we know there's different ways to release these, right? And GEM is one of them, but this is an amazing opportunity for you guys to work on releasing things independently in the comforts and the safety of your own home without anybody else knowing. Okay. So what I invite you to do is, this is a season of releasing, right? Releasing whatever doesn't serve you, whatever is not clear, whatever is causing the chaos in your head before winter, before we go in hibernation, before we get into winter, because if we do not release these things now, it's going to cause depression. It's going to cause mental health dysfunction. It's going to cause disease. Okay. If we release them, then our body resets and we can go into hibernation or in winter with ease and flow, like we were destined to, right? Everything is about the energy. Okay. All right. So this exercise, besides hugging yourself, we're doing a lot today. I would invite you to choose one. Okay. Mirror work is also as good as this. Okay. And as challenging. So put in the comments if you're going to do mirror work. Put in the comments if you're going to do burn your boats exercise. Give me to tell you the exercise before you actually answer. Okay, so burn your boats exercise is you write a letter to someone that has hurt you, that has said things that were not true to you, that has created this animosity, that has created a sparring in your heart, whatever that might be. And side note, this letter can be to yourself. Okay. I have written a letter to myself. And you write all of those things that you feel, all of the words that were said, all of the things that were spoken, all of the conversations that you felt like you had to defend yourself, or you felt that weren't true, or you felt that you just whatever that negative is, right? Negative emotions are all the same. They're just different words on it, right? So you write all of that down. Then you say at the end, I forgive you. Then you sign it and you date it. So you're writing it to Susie or to Felicia, right? We're going to say bye, Felicia. To Felicia, it made me feel blah, 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 blah. And then you, at the end of it, I forgive you, and you sign your name. That's the first step. That may take a little bit of time, right? So take a hot bath, pour goodness into yourself, and then it's like a journal, right? You pull out that piece of paper, you fold it up. If you know origami, I can absolutely put origami in here too. I think I have saved a YouTube video about this. So I'll try to find that and post it in here. You can even do origami, make it an art project, and create a boat. And then you light that boat on fire. Safely light the boat on fire. And then I would love to hear what comes up for you and what releases for you, like how you feel afterwards. Let that like sit in that space of burning all that angst, of burning all that negative emotion, of releasing all of that for you and that other human, right? Or for you and you, right? I've written a letter to a lot of people. I mean, there's always more, right? There's always more letters to write, but I get to write another letter. I have written a letter to myself, and I think that was probably one of the hardest letters I've ever written. And there was a lot. I feel like we tend to look at ourselves and judge ourselves more, but it was really hard to be authentic and write all of the things that I thought and I judged myself for. And that releasing of that judgment of my own self and the things that I thought that I did wrong or that I could have done better, or things that no one else knows, right? I let all that go. And that was really, really amazing. So I would encourage this. Any of these things. And if you want me to be more supportive, you guys, I do do this with other humans. But this is an amazing exercise that has really profoundly changed the span of growth and emotional wellness for all of my clients thus far. And I love the power in it. So if your emotional score is lower right now, give yourself grace for one. Last 2 years, challenging, right? We are in fall. We are in retrograde. There is life things that happen all the time. And so give yourself grace, give yourself a hug, pour into you, and then choose mirror work or burn your boats, and see what that score does after that. See how you feel after that. And I would love to connect with you in the Facebook group to see what comes up and what shifts for you. All right. This is a little tidbit on Wellness Wednesday. I wanted to bring it to you today. And again, send love where love is needed. Put love out there for everybody. You guys matter. You are amazing. You are beautiful. Have a blessed Wednesday and the rest of your week. All right. We'll talk to you soon.